welcome back to the Lizelle International Circuit. ERS returns for round 5 of season 7. Last time we were at this track, we saw the 3-time world champion only score a couple of points. It was definitely an unfortunate weekend for him. And now, as Rockstar leads him in the title, you have to wonder, is he going to do better? Because he needs to. Rockstar, the 1-time driver champion, looking to make it a second, and I think there's going to be some interesting fights coming out of QTAR. I'm joined here today by Ash and Q for our pre-race show. One topic I do want to bring up is, as I mentioned, as we were starting, Plumpy only scored maybe, I think it was like 4 points last time we were in Qatar. Do we think he's going to do better, especially considering the fact that he's below Rockstar in the standings right now?
I believe that Plumpy will definitely do better than last time he was out here. There was some unfortunate stuff, and with Rockstar leading him in the title, of course, you never want your teammate leading you. So I'm going to assume that Plumpy is going to be really motivated going into this weekend, wanting to beat out Rockstar.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, my bad, bro.
Yeah, for sure. I think that um Plumpy is definitely driven by motivation. He's won 3 world championships off of just being hella motivated. And I think knowing the result he had last time we were in Qatar and knowing that his teammate is now proving to be better than him, even as a 3-time world champion, I think you have to say this is a race I gotta win, especially because it would take him ahead.
Personally, I just think one, he has the motivation and confidence. Two, he's a three-time champion. Obviously, it's been said multiple times. I think, like you said, he has to go into this race knowing he needs to win. Because if he wins around Rockstar's and Damien's backyard, that's going to be humongous momentum in the driver's title. And I don't think there's any stopping him after that. So I think he's going to race for the podium, if not something better.
Oh, exactly. And I almost think that this will be the race that we see where the championship's going. I think around race 5, right around that halfway mark, we start to see what is going to happen, who our champion looks like it could be. And I think really Rockstar and Plumpy fighting for it right now. Great for Ferrari, by the way. Having 2 people fighting for a championship. But just I think the result of Bahrain will really show the result of where the championship is going to go.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think it's going to be interesting. I can't wait to see what's going to happen.
All right, Q.
Yes, it will.
It is time for the
Yes.
Q big brain question, as we've done previously. Q.
One of the big brain questions. Coming from my side of the garage, I'm wondering for this week, how do we feel about McLaren? We thought that McLaren would have the momentum to be up there once again, but it has been proven that they are just having some horrific luck this season. Do we think McLaren will still make it into the top 3?
I think honestly, the way they've already shot themselves from P8 to P5, it's looking good. Right, they're just a couple of points behind Red Bull, and then from there it's about 10 points to VCarb. I think so, especially knowing VCarb. VCarb could be their downfall today. They're P3, right? They're doing good. First time they've done good since season 2. But Sarkle's not racing. They're going to have a rookie and an F2 driver in. So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, one good race for McLaren, and they are definitely on that podium, especially with Red Bull having a no-point race out of Bahrain.
Rookie and a 2 driver. That is a quite interesting lineup. Holy crap. Anyways, your question. I have zero hope in Mercedes, to be honest with you. I think Clarify is great. He's a good driver. He'll race for
Mercedes.
a section of points. Did I say Mercedes next time? I meant McLaren. My bad. I have zero hope for them. Rez is fast. Rez will probably get pole position. If not, just miss out on it. But Rez has yet to show me that he can actually take a pole to the win or take a pole to a podium. He did it one time, but you got to do it a lot more than once to actually prove yourself. And in ERS, I think fighting for a podium is harder than people think. So
Oh, yeah.
I don't see him on the podium here today.
Especially just McLaren's results of penalties. I mean, every race Rez has either been disconnected or had a penalty. So if Rez honestly he's trying to blame it on Wi-Fi, he needs to get the connection up before he can get his points up. And Clarify just he's an F2 driver, right? Rookie season, did some racing with Ferrari last season, but obviously you're not going to be perfect your first year.
Yeah, it has been very unfortunate for Clarify this season. He's had some very good qualifying positions, but it's just been absolutely horrific during race.
Yeah, but personally, is my opinion. One, Rez, if he does good, he'll lose the podium off uh track limit warnings, penalties. And then clarify. I mean, at what point do we sit here and say that it's bad luck or it's driver error? You know what I mean?
Oh,
Because you're
exactly.
gonna have so much bad luck until eventually you realize maybe you could have turned in a little earlier, a little later, or hit the brakes a little earlier, later, whatever the case is. So
Yeah,
I just don't see it turning around here in Qatar.
yeah, and that'll be something to definitely look at. Obviously, we have Rez saying, if you follow, keep up with the ERS media, right? You've seen Rez coming out and saying he's pulled off the P19 to P1. So I'm not sure McLaren's too worried about penalties. Clearly, their results don't count penalties, but it'll be interesting to see. In Qatar, there's a lot of lines that involve close cutting track limits. It'll be interesting to see penalty wise how that goes. So, we're going to do some blind rankings here. I'm going to give a couple of drivers who have been solid in Qatar, and you guys are going to place them in your top five, and we're going to see how accurate they are. All right, our first driver, and you're just going to say 1 through 5 for them, 1 being the best, 5 being the worst. Our first driver is Bert.
5.
Five. Yeah, just from what I've seen, his Red Bull itself doesn't have pace around Qatar. I don't
Okay,
see how Bert does either.
our next driver is Deadpool.
Oh, I can't switch, can I? Okay, then we're gonna just slap him in P4 and see what happens.
Yeah, we're
Okay,
gonna say P4.
okay. Our next driver is Baljeet.
No,
Are they all bad? No, Benji's not bad. I'm gonna say a P2. I'm gonna leave that P3 spot open. I'm gonna say P2.
All right, next, we're gonna say Plumpy.
me as well. Okay, Bumpy's 1 for me personally.
Well, are we going off past performances? Or are we just like,
I think we're just
Plumpy's
saying it
one. It doesn't even matter. He's a 3-time champion. Unless he pulls Rockstar Damien out of his ass, then we're good.
Well, unfortunately, the next driver is Rockstar.
Yeah, see, and then Rockstar. Yeah, bro, this is just Rockstar 16 seconds up the road, so like it doesn't save people on it. Just like he broke the board, so it doesn't matter.
Yep. So
That's fine. Top five.
to go back to the blind rankings, our top five is Bert, Deadpool, Rockstar, Baljeet, Plumpy.
Where do we get these drivers from, Twin?
Solid top five. Solid top five.
Solid top
Anyways,
five indeed.
something I think we should always bring up when it comes to Qatar is track limits. That's the biggest thing here. It's not heavy
Oh,
braking zone. It's not overtaking. It's not staying clean. When it comes to drivers around you, it's just straight track limits. We know Rez is going to struggle. I've heard news coming out of Williams that there's a chance of a disqualification due to the fact that the drivers keep getting too many track limits. Do you guys think there's going to be any other teams or drivers that are going to be really, really influenced?
Oh, 1,000%.
Time penalties.
Looking at the just current grid as we speak, I would say I gotta say Kick. Kick scares me. Having Bao right? Just interesting driver. Known for penalties, known for penalty points. Track limits doesn't look great for him there. Just Dez, I think he is a better driver, but I haven't seen too much out of him that would suggest like crazy. So I don't know if Kick will be in the points today, which is big for McLaren because they need big points here to stay ahead of Kick. Another possible team that could get affected by it is VCarb. VCarb without Sarkos, you're gonna have again an F2 driver and a rookie. There's only so much can happen there, especially with Carter saying it's one of his worst tracks. So that'll be interesting to see. I definitely agree with you. Penalties is the biggest thing at Qatar. If you can keep it clean, you can definitely be fighting for points.
So what I'm hearing is we think that Williams will have some troubles, McLaren may have some troubles, and that Kick Sauber will have some troubles. So as well as VCAR. But I'd like to bring up one team that we think might. Do you think Haas will have any kind of trouble here in Qatar after having to leave their second driver enlist for I believe Alex with three. Do you think they will be able to keep it on track with Baja?
See, Baja, he's not shown me too much about track limits wise that I would say yes, he can keep it on track, but I haven't seen him race too much. He seems like he's usually pretty far away from the top where I've been watching, so it'll be interesting to see.
I mean, I'm gonna say I don't know anything about strike limits. Oh, we know Japan, he qualified at pole position, but then struggled really bad because he's really bad when it comes to awareness. So I don't know anything about track limits. Personally, I think it's gonna be a great race for Haas. I think their driver two is gonna struggle, but the driver one is gonna get good points for them.
Yeah, 100%, especially with the fact that Qatar, I mean, pace matters. We see guys like Alex and Caleb do really well in Qatar just because of its like pure pace, right? If you're a time trial guy, you're super quick, Qatar's your track. And Baja seeming like he's that guy. I mean, if he starts it on pole position and never has to look back, I could see him winning.
Exactly. I think it's gonna be good for any driver like Rez, but doesn't have the track limits Rez gets.
Oh yeah, especially Wi-Fi wise as well.
Yes.
Well, here's a big question. I think this is probably one of the biggest stories going into it. Gang Plumpy, right? We already talked about the fact that he's going to struggle, that we think he might struggle or might not struggle, whatever. But he keeps saying to everybody publicly that this is his worst track, this is a horrible track, he doesn't ever want to race it. But then he's putting up times that are close to Rez and close to people like that. Do we think that it's all just a play so people don't expect him to do good? But I think he's going to go out there and shoot for a podium and actually put up amazing points. And should be
Honestly,
completely fine.
not only is he in the position to make a play like that, I mean, he wants to win, he's gonna need everything he can get. Also, think he's the kind of guy that would do that. I mean, three-time world champion, you can't just be good on track, you have to be good mentally. And I think he's the kind of guy who honestly could do that. So, especially if he's going to be putting in these phenomenal times, I don't see it being his worst track.
Well, I do think Forky is fast, and I think that he could totally, totally get that top three, that podium, or even win the race. This day, I'm really not feeling it. I don't know why. I know that he's fast. I know that he's very clean on track. I really believe that he will fall just short of the top three and end up being fourth or fifth today.
Right, and of course, I 100% would agree with that. I think he might not be in the top three. Said the same thing about Sarkles. He said he's going to fall P7 or P8. Sorry to bring it in here, more on the Bahrain post-race show, but Sarkles, what a podium he had. So I think no matter what a driver says or how it's looking for them, ERS is crazy. Races, stuff that happens to them is crazy. So I think even if Pumpy isn't at his best, especially Qatar, a lot of dive bombs happening. Anything could happen.
Yeah, I like to go based off data, and the data tells me that he's putting in faster times than Rockstar and Damien. So if he can do that stuff on controller, I don't see how he won't challenge for it.
Oh yeah, 1,000%.
Coming into Qatar for fifth round of ERS season 7. I'm also very curious to know our opinions about Keeper becoming a Kick Sauber team principal again after Nugs has left, and Nugs is now a driver for Aston Martin. Do we think Kick will struggle with their new team principal, and Nugs will struggle in that Aston Martin?
Nugs wise, I'm not sure how Aston Martin's gonna be looking, but kick wise, I think Peeper's great TP. He seems motivated at kick. I feel like TP's the team that you first TP for in ERS kind of has a special place to you. I know from VCarb. Second, I came back to VCarb, started doing better, started feeling way more motivated. I think Peeper's going to be right back to his championship winning self. I'm not sure if he'll win a championship, but I definitely think he'll be fighting for points, especially sitting right behind McLaren. I think he's the guy who will want it, and I think he'll push his drivers to want it just as much as he does.
Yeah, looking at the Peeper point of view, I would know this because I'm the one that hires and fires everybody. Beware, you don't go in debt. Anyways, all I'm gonna say is Peeper's probably the most strict, probably the strictest TP. If you like, there's basically no bullshit at Kick. If you're a bad driver, he will cut you. He doesn't want to be last. He doesn't want to be a back marker.
Oh yeah.
So I feel like there's a chance he'll get ugly before it gets pretty. But this team is going to improve significantly by round 5 to round 10, and especially going on into next season. So I have full confidence in Peeper and Kick. But as for Nugs, I don't got any confidence whatsoever in that guy. He races for podiums in like what, season 2, season 3. He retires, takes a long break. He decides to come back, but now all our talent and skill has just increased like 300%. So I just don't see him competing. Plus, he got disqualified, first ever disqualification in a year.
Yeah. Oh, exactly.
Interesting. It's prediction real fast. Do you guys think there'll be a safety car or a virtual safety car?
Virtual safety car for sure.
There will be a safety car, like a full safety car.
Oh, I don't think there will. I don't think there'll even be a virtual. I think it's going to be a plain nice race.
I think there will be. This is my exact reasoning. I think someone is going to dive bomb someone in the top 5, and they're going to get their wing broken, or they're going to break someone else's wing, and there's going to be a virtual safety car.
Interesting.
All right, so
Okay.
now we can get
predictions.
Yep. Q, give us your top 3 for qualifying and your top 5 for the race.
Top 3 for qualifying, I feel like Rockstar is very fast around this track. So I'm going to go from 1 to 3. I think Rockstar will be taking pole around QTAR tonight. As for the second place holder I have right now, I believe Damien is on pace to be second with his times. And following him, iRacing has been feeling very good about this. I think Plumpy will very, very, like, by a small margin, out of the top 3 for qualifying, and will be probably 4th or 5th. Now, for my actual race predictions, I believe that will probably bring it home. I think he will win this race. As for second, I think iRacing will be second. Damien's just had some horrific luck depending on how he moves or how he races tonight. I think he will keep it clean. But knowing how races have been in the past, I can't be too sure. Now at number 3, I think Damien will drop down a place. I think it'll just be some unfortunate, really tough racing between him and iRacing tonight. P4, I'm going to have to get to Plumpy. I think Plumpy will really claw his way, trying to get up into the podium, just will barely miss out on it. And number 5, I have to say, I think, right, this is me, don't quote me on it, I think that if anything does happen, Bert will sneak his way into the top 5.
Yeah, 1000%. I think Bert honestly has a chance. Ash, let's hear your top 3 and top 5.
1, I'm going to say Rez. I don't see how anybody's going to beat him. I mean, he's just crazy fast, and he's on the wheel and everything. For quality, it's going to go Rez. I'm going to say Plumpy. That's going to be a crazy, crazy thing to say. I'm going to say Plumpy and then Damien. I don't think Rockstar gets in the top 3 in quality. I think Rockstar probably just gets around that 4th, 5th area. And as for the race, though, I'm going to have to say Rockstar. Rockstar gets P1. Rez might be leading, but then track limits will push him all the way off the podium, in my opinion. It's going to be Rockstar for P1. Don't see anyone beating him. Damien will be P2. Can't quite beat Rockstar, but we've seen that in the past where Damien's usually always finishing second to him, that they finish right next to each other. But P3 is going to be Plumpy. I'm so confident in this guy and what he can do here at QTAR based off times and data and whatever. So P3 goes to Plumpy. And then maybe Rez. It's either Rez or Baja in 4th and 5th. I don't see anything in iRacing. I saw a lot in him last season, but this season hasn't really proven to me that he can compete with the top.
That he's
the top
that guy.
ERS consistently. So
100%.
iRacing does not make it to my top 5.
For my qualifying, I'll go 3rd to 1st. At 3rd, I'm going to put Damien. I think Damien has pace, and I think he honestly, I think he'll be back. I think he will probably qualify in that top 3 position. At number 2, I have Rockstar. I'm confident in him. I love Rockstar, man, but I think he's going to be really good around Qatar today, right? Obviously, you say he's 4th, 5th, right? Plumpy is going to be that guy. For Ferrari, I think it's going to be Rockstar. And at first, I have Rez. 1,000% agree with you, Ash. How can you put someone below or above Rez at qualifying, especially in track like Qatar? I think Rez will be up there. For my race, I think in 5th will probably be Baja. I think you're 1,000% right with that. Sorry to copy off you here. Baja, it's great qualifying track, and I think Baja will qualify pretty high. I don't think he's gonna be good enough to be on the podium, but I don't see why he couldn't be top 5. In 4th, I'm going to go Rez. Obviously, there's just Wi-Fi issues. There's track limit issues. He could finish first on track like he did in Bahrain, but it doesn't help if you have 10 seconds of penalties. In 3rd, sorry, I'm gonna put Plumpy. I think Plumpy's gonna qualify like P5, P6, and fight his way all the way back up onto the podium. P2, I'm gonna have Damien, and P1, I'm going to put Rockstar, the GOAT.
Yeah, I mean gotta have to sometimes. But anyways,
Yeah.
that's pretty much the guitar. But I just want to say that the team to look at the most is gonna be Mercedes. It's a make or break. If Ferrari outscores them here, I think that's the constructors. And then the team under the least amount of pressure is easily going to be Kick. I mean, new TP, new expectations. Just
Oh, yeah.
gonna go out there and see what happens.
Oh, 1,000%. Aston Martin, got a lot to prove.
Yeah, especially with their team not looking good.
If Aston Martin gets a 1-2 here, though, they'd be in P4.
Yeah, who is on Aston Martin? I know they signed
CM Logan.
Who is his teammate?
They dropped CM Logan.
Here, former race winner, 0 points of this season.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, they're struggling. Their TP is currently officially under threat of being fired by around 8 before signings, and then who knows what's going to happen to the team.
Hey, he did the same thing to V-Carb last year.
It's always going to happen to V-Carb. Team is probably going to get fired this season too. So.
Oh, hell no. We are your podium TPs, by the way. I just want to put that out there.
Wait, all 3 of us on the podium, the constructors?
Yup.
Holy crap. That is goated.
The youngling is back in the P3. Yeah.
That's why we're in the podcast. We're the best.
Yeah. Thank you guys all for tuning in to ERS's pre-race podcast here at Qatar. Later tonight, we will be racing around it. Make sure to tune in to our Twitch at ERS F125 League to watch. And you can also watch previous races because ERS has all of your racing highlights. Thank you.